money, my body, now your own.
Hello, and welcome back. So I wanted to touch base on where you should be placing your stop loss, and we can even go into where you can be taking potential profit as well. I knew that this was something that I struggled with all through and still do to some extent because I don't know, I like to take the risk and just place it a little too tight. However, this is a new year. We're going to start doing things a little bit different because it seems as though every time I go to place myself in a position and then I will have my stop loss just a little too tight, and then what ends up happening is it will go up, it takes me out of the trade, and then it continues to go in the same direction that I knew that it was going to go in. So in an effort to help you not repeat my mistakes, or lessons should we call them, we're going to go over that today. So let's actually shoot on over to, I'm going to go on to AU. We could use this one that I'm currently on right now, which is, we're not doing too bad. I mean, I have a position both open on USD, JPY, and GBP. And they're, both of them are doing pretty good. So I would say. Anyway, so let me jump back and let's see what we got going on. So I'm going to use, let's actually scoot back some and see what's going on. So this is a pretty decent spot. Let me just squeeze this guy up a bit. And again, remember, I'm going to be using the lower time frames. That's in an effort to get your profit a little bit quicker. So I think I had talked about that in a previous video. Okay, so let's actually start up here at the start of this, this is kind of the start. Let's use this instead. So we'll use this as our start to the trend. So let me go ahead and mark this off because this is where price had touched previously, okay? So we have some of our, actually I can probably write out a couple levels for you real quick just so that it's clear. And I want to say that this is looking like level down here too. Let's say there's that. And okay, we'll start with those three for now and then just kind of move from there. I will grab my brush tool. So in an effort to know when to take profit and where to set up your stop loss, first of all, price action has to be giving you either higher highs and higher lows on an uptrend or lower lows and lower highs on a downtrend. Don't try to open up a position if the market is ranging. Ranging meaning doing something like this. Like even this piece is not doing too bad. I mean, if you were trading the trend kind of going in that direction. But usually market is looking like this, just straight up and down, straight up and down, straight up and down, and that's stuff that you don't want to actually trade. So in an effort to make sure that you're choosing the right place, you can look kind of at how price action is acting. Once you see that there is a trend, then you can go ahead and take advantage of that trend by trading support and resistance, and then using support and resistance kind of as your markers for where you will be placing your stop loss and your take profit. For example, let me pull this out a bit. Okay, I'm gonna get my marker here. Okay, and we're bear with me, I'm just trying to mentally figure out exactly how I want to show you the easiest way for you to understand. So let's say right here on this candle, we decided, okay, we're in on the here, let me give you an arrow. That's probably a little bit easier. So there, on that candle, we're starting, and we're going to use that candle for reference. So when you decide, okay, I'm getting in, you're gonna be on a short position. So let's say price is here, and what we want to do is we're going for a stop loss or a take profit just based on price previously. Let's say we're going to stop about there, even though we can obviously see the price has gone a lot farther. So we can even squeeze back and probably see. It's not going to let me see too far, but let's just work with this for now. So when you see price headed down, so this is the best way to do it. Always give yourself enough room. Best way to give yourself enough room with the correct stop loss is if you're using the previous higher lower high or higher low. Well, this is kind of like the end of an uptrend. So higher high, so we use this previous higher high as a start from here. So like, let's say, go ahead, we're in the trade, everything seems like it's going really well. We've given ourselves enough room. It's a little harder to see here because there's no previous price action that we can look at to see exactly where to place it from just the screen that I have. Now, not saying that it's not possible, because anytime you can kind of go back in history, you can see that, okay, maybe this should have been right here is where your price should have been, just to kind of protect you. Because if you notice that the trend is going down, you'll notice that anytime price action is moving in a trend, it's not going to allow for price to come back up here and then continue down. Now, it can get close. Let me grab a brush tool. It can get, potentially, it could have gotten here. It could have gotten right here and still continued down in the trend. But one thing that you're not going to see is you're not going to see price do something like this. If you see price coming back to say here, oops, I guess I got to grab the tool so you can actually see, right? You see price starting to get up in this range, like closer to where this higher low or lower high was. The trend has changed. You're no longer in a downtrend. Okay, so then that's at the time that you probably want to see to it that you're getting out of whatever trade that you're in. So let me go back here. Oh yeah, this shit just does not work out for me always with the moving mouse. I need to change like the sensitivity on the mouse. I just haven't done it yet, but okay. So coming back or bringing it back to here. Okay, you've gotten in, everything is going well, price is starting to go in your direction. Price gets to here, we get a couple of retests, which is exactly what you want to see on a healthy market, and then price drops. From here, you can actually start to move yourself into break even. I wouldn't move too far from break even once it hits this area. Let me get a circle for you. Once we get to this area, cool. Then you want to move your trade into risk-free, basically. So you'll move it into risk-free. Price will come up here. It's gonna kind of retest this area a few times, and then when you see price starting to get down into like another area, then you can actually move. And I know I tried to do this the last time, it's weird, but you can actually move your break even trade, move this down into profit and move it to here, so that way, should price decide to go in a different direction further down the road, this from here to here, let me grab something so you can see what I'm talking about. So from here to literally to here, you'll take that profit with you. So now you're sitting in a trade where you have not only broke even here, so there's no more risk involved, but now you're in profit and you broke even. You get what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. So let me just try to go over this a little bit more in depth, just so that it makes sense. Okay? Hang on one second. Actually, no, let's leave that guy on there. So let's scoot it back. Let's bring this back up if it'll let me. I'm not going to worry about it if it's not trying to let me, but we're going to see. Oh, Lord. Okay. And that's not what I want. Okay. Well, you guys know. You guys know that was sitting up there. So we'll just use something like a horizontal ray as our quote-unquote stop loss. Perfect. It's red and everything. So I'm going to zoom in just a bit more, just to make it a little more clear. This is also going to give you another opportunity to get in on a second trade. We'll talk about that a whole nother time, because what you can do is scale in. You can leave the one trade running or take a certain amount out of that trade and continue to allow the market to run. That way you'll take some profit with you, and hopefully price keeps going in the same direction that you had done your work to see whether or not it's going to do so. So I'm just going to mark off real quick before we keep moving forward good places to place your stop loss. Price right here. So then price moves down, it moves back up, and it's down again. Stop loss. Price moves down, it moves back up, moves back down. Stop loss. Do you see the trend that kind of takes place? Price moves up to retest and then back down. Stop loss. Moves up to retest and back down. Stop loss. So if you can kind of tell, every time the price has made its move, it's not going to get higher. When it's moving in a correct downtrend or a correct uptrend, you're going to see the same or the opposite with an uptrend. So I hope that you guys can see the pattern that it tends to make is pretty. It's literally like art. Hang on, let me grab the brush tool back. So same scenario, price moves up a little bit, maybe for a light retest, and then we're looking at really going down. Stop loss. Price is going to move up, a little bit of consolidation, price is down again. Stop loss. So that way, as you can kind of adjust to the market rather than sitting up here, break even, hoping that price doesn't get back up to here, and that your essentially your take profit will probably be a little bit further at this point if you're actively watching the market. You're trying to wait for it to get to where you want it to, but rather than leaving yourself open and not taking some of this profit that you could have taken off of the plate, you'll have all of this profit taken off the plate in your account so that you can live to trade another day. So let's see, let's move on to another section real quick and see if I can get you like an uptrend. This is perfect. So let's use this little space right here as an uptrend to follow by. It's a little bit funky. It's not like straight up, which is fine. That's just kind of how the market works. So I'm going to just show you. Okay, so price action has gotten down here. Perfect. So you see the price move up, move down. Stop loss. Price moves up. Price moves very, very close. That's why it's very important that you leave room. That was my issue with stop loss. Price moves up for the retest. Price moves up and then comes back down for the retest. See how close this is? Stop loss. Up, down for the retest. Now this could have gotten a little bit tricky, because if you had put your stop loss here, this second range would have took you out. It would have took you out. So, but that's also important. If you had put your take profit here, you'd be out of the trade anyway, or at least in the trade or out of the trade with some type of profit that you had collected from these previous moves. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful. I hope that it was easy to understand. Let me know if you have questions. Of course, you don't want to just simply use support and resistance as confluence. You have to and should use at least 3. The EMA I'm using, I'll use the Heikin-Ashi as well. So use a couple different confluences to check and see how and where the market is going next, so that you can have a better and more clear, precise sniper entry. I hope that this was helpful. Get after it.